right. All right. Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makah HaKodash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And citations to you, Akim, out there pushing this truth with sincerity and fearlessness. All right. Back to another lesson. All right. First and foremost, I'll give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makah HaKodash. Yahweh, meaning he exists, all right? Bahashem, meaning coming in the name of. And Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, is actually Yahweh Shai, meaning he saves, he delivers, all right? Back to another lesson through the Spirit. Of course, Babylon is crumbling, and there's no, and I think this is the Pentagon, a lot of stuff is going on. A lot of people in the midst of the Pentagon, in those administrations and stuff like that, are being divided against each other because there's a lot of maliciousness. It's a lot of demonic stuff behind the scenes that no one sees. And you got people that are backing down from, taking orders. You got, certain sergeants or, commands not taking orders of certain commands because in their spirit is immoral. In their spirit, it's not right. It's something unreasonable. That's what they, but I'm just going to get the information. I ain't going to ramble, back with another lesson. All right. Check it out. Let's go to the article here. Commander overseeing U.S. forces in the Caribbean to retire 1 year into tenure. All right. The admiral overseeing U.S. Southern Command, which has responsibility for forces in the Caribbean, where the U.S. has carried out multiple legally ambiguous strikes against alleged drug cartel, and as they said, alleged, and is retiring 1 year into his tenure. All right. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, all right, and that's the defense, the place of defense is the Pentagon, and this Pete guy is the head of the Pentagon, all right, said in social media posts on X on Thursday. The news comes just days after the U.S. military conducted its fifth known strike on a boat alleged to be trafficking drugs off the coast of Venezuela, killing 6 people. It also comes one day after President Donald Trump said publicly that he had authorized the CIA to operate inside Venezuela to clamp down on the flow of drugs and migrants. Also on Wednesday, U.S. Air Force B-52 bombers flew off the coast of Venezuela for more than 4 hours, CNN previously reported. Tensions have been simmering between Hegseth and Adam Alvin Hosley for weeks before the admiral announced he was leaving. 2 sources familiar with the matter told CNN Hegseth did not believe Hosley was moving quickly or aggressively enough to combat drug traffickers in the Caribbean. He complained about not being given the information he needed about the operations, and sources said, but Southcom was concerned about the operation not being lawful, and sources added. The tension came to a head during a meeting between Hegseth, Hosley, and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kane, on October 6th of the Pentagon. One of the sources said Hosley offered to resign during the meeting, and the source said, but the idea was tabled and his departure was not announced until over a week later. His departure will also not be imminent. Instead, he'll retire at the end of the year. The Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell denied on X that Halsey ever expressed reservations about the counter-narcotic mission in the Caribbean. Halsey confirmed in a statement on X that the December 12, 2025, I will retire from the U.S. Navy. Serving as your commander and deputy for the past 35 months has been a tremendous honor. Halsey wrote, the Southcom team has made lasting contributions to the defense of our nation and will continue to do so. I am confident that you will forge ahead, focused on your mission that strengthens our nation and assures its longevity as a beacon of freedom around the globe. Neither of the U.S. Navy nor Southern commands have responded to a request of comment. Halsey was sworn in as the commander of Southern Command in November 2024. Halsey's predecessor, Army General Laura Richardson, served as the Southern Command commander from 2021 to 2025 before retiring. Halsey has served in uniform for 37 years since commission from the Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps. So we're dealing with people that's been serving and been serving the U.S. for centuries, declining. This is me declining commands because they. I mean, this guy Halsey, Admiral Halsey, he's a vet. He's been serving in uniform for 37 years since commission from the Naval, Training Corps in 1988. Okay, so this guy has a background. He seems to be an Israelite looking man, an Israelite, and you can tell he has a spirit. Of justice, and he's not gonna buy into the commands that this devil is giving him to kill Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and Venezuelans and all that stuff. We're dealing with Esau giving commands to Jake to destroy Jake, and this brother got a spirit on him that he's not going to follow through because he feels it's unlawful. And I understand because, hell, this guy's probably been serving longer than the guy giving him commands, man. All right, so it's I really it makes sense that that he knows what he's doing. He knows he's not gonna, what I mean. So it's these devils are like Revelations 12:12. These devils trying to come down with a great wrath, man. They're coming down. They have that spirit on them, and they're whoever's not in the same spirit, they're ready to get them out of there because these devils want blood. These devils want to get this shit together. They want to get their plan followed through. All right, and in the midst of these cabinets, in the midst of these administrations, there's going to be a house divided because a lot of people won't be on the same page. And it's going to be many of them that will. Man. And this is the Department of Defense. This is Babylon's army. All right. This is Babylon's defense team. OK, divided. All right. People stepping down from it. All right. Because of unlawful decision making and unlawful mindsets. And he's going to be testifying. All right. In court against Hedseth, all right? So it's a lot more that we don't know, all right? So Hedseth said on behalf, okay, let's say, Halsey has served in uniform for 37 years since commissioning from the Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps in 1988. According to his official Navy biography, his previous assignments have included commander of the Navy's Carrier Strike Group, one on operations, officers in the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and most recently as the military deputy commander at Southern Command. On behalf of the Department of War, we extend our deepest gratitude to Admiral Alvin Halsey for his more than 37 years of distinguished service in our nation as he plans to retire at year's end, Hegseth said on his X post. Hegseth has replaced a number of senior officers across the military since taking over as secretary this year. So he's been having a turnover rate, you know. And my experience as having a large turnover rate, like for jobs where I worked at and stuff like that, it's usually the management. It's usually the head of the place that's just horrible. All right, horrible. They don't know how to take care of the workers, or not picking the workers right, and it's just people are not living there. They're not enjoying being in those titles at these jobs. So, he's replaced, hey, it is what it is, including by firing former chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, Jen C.Q. Brown, Admin Lisa Franchetti, former Chief of Naval Operations, Jen James Slife, former Vice Chief of Staff of the Air Force, and LT Jen Jeffrey Cruz, former head of the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency. All right. So these people they want blood, and if you get hired on and you're not gonna be part of what they are part of, they're gonna eliminate you. They want to get you out of there because they want people that's suitable for their plan, for their agenda. All right. A house divided cannot stand. All right. And this is what's going on in Babylon, aka America. House divided cannot stand. Mark chapter 3 verse 25. All right, let's get to 25, 3 verse 25. All right. Mark chapter 3 verse, let me start with 24. All right. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And this kingdom we're talking about is America, Babylon, all right, Egypt. This is all reincarnated society, all right. It cannot stand when people are not in agreement in their cabinets and in their armies, all right. They are not in agreement. But large turnover rate, meaning these people that he's hiring are not in agreement. They're like, oh, no, bro, you tweaking. You know what I mean? No. And it is a house. All right. And if a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but have an ending. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, then he will spoil his house. All right. So these people, well, the wicked has the earth, man. So people are not enjoying being under rulership of this. I'm talking about that on every level. And hell, I'm retiring. I ain't finna be part of this wicked ass war criminal. Because people it's pretty, hey, there's a thin line, all right? When you're the head of defense and stuff like that, you have to have your special morals so you don't kill civilians. You don't kill, you know what I mean? You want the target and just the target. All right. So, we got people in these cabins seeing that there's different morals going on where they don't care about civilians and they don't care. So pretty much there's a thin line between them being war criminals. They're being influenced by the great over there, the small hatters and the head of the small hatters. Yahoo. You know what I'm saying? So now they're trying to get their bloodshed on, okay? Let's go to Ezekiel, perpetual hatred. All right, but I want that 6. I want 6 because they want to draw blood. All right. Ezekiel chapter 35. I'll just start with 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, which is the modern day gun, your armies, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity has an end. All right. Venezuelans, There's a lot going on with them. Though they are Israelites over there. They are the Israel. You know what I mean? They are people of our. So especially in this judgment, of course. But it's like, man, these people. Esau is after the tribes. 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, God, Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Saith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. All right. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from him that passeth out of him that returneth. All right. So the Lord's going to definitely deal with these Edomites and, that are in high places. But at the same time, they're divided. There's a divided cabinet in the Trump administration and in the United States right now. All right. Which is good. Which is great. And Esau wants blood, man. And if you're not hired for their jobs and don't want blood just like them and, ready, they're going to get you up out of there, man. All right. Admiral Halsey has a spirit on him where it's not lawful. He wants to do it the right way. And these devils, hey, they ready to get it done on their bloodshed way. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. All right. So that man stepped down, and Headchef is going to hire somebody else that's going to fit the job. And they're going to do some damage, because judgment has to. The Lord uses these devils for judgment. All right, they're going to do some damage and drop bombs on these Venezuelans and innocent or so-called innocent people, because the Lord is control of that. All right, they're going to get it done. They're going to do it on a heavy notion. All right, that's why it's good to hey, that admiral, he better go and repent. That's why he retires. He ain't got to work for these devils no more. He better repent, because ain't no telling what he done in the past too. He done been in this machine of Babylon. All right. But there's a house divided, guys. There's a house divided going on. All right. This place is fallen. People are separating themselves because of their morals and principles. All right. And house divided. And it's embarrassing to this country. This country is embarrassing. And it shows it's falling. All right. And people are not seeing it. People don't see this shit. All right. Got a video. People are not seeing what's going on. Strong delusion. All right, where we at? We find it. There it is. I might have to. If you can't hear it, a lot of Jake got Instagram, man. Go to that guy's page, Yaram Yah, servant of Yahushua. All right. I could have. I don't have my other phone's messed up. I don't know what to do right now, but this is what I got right now. But he's breaking down how Admiral Halsey is going to testify against head chef, so deeper than what we think. It's deeper than what they're giving us. All right. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth reportedly hauled. And there's subtitles too. So if you can't hear him, read the subtitles. All right. Reportedly hauled Admiral There's subtitles. All right. All right. He said he refused to follow illegal orders. So he checked out the scenery and seen errors in the guy's decision, and he's seen that I'm pretty sure he's a professional at knowing what the hell is illegal and what's not. All right. So he refused to follow illegal orders. And this fucking Edomite is trying to threaten this man. Jake has a spirit. Jake has a conscience, man. All right. Admiral Halsey has a conscience. All right. And yeah. But with that, I hope the elect was edified. All right. Till next time, I want to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors unto the elders, apostles of Great Millstone. Till next time, Shalom, Kwam Yasharallah, Abad Babal.